It's day 5 on Pärlan. The sun is out. It's going to be 11 degrees today. I've already opened everything up and you can actually feel the air go through the boat. Get rid of this kind of really horrible smell in there of oil and damp that you have at the moment. I don't know if you can see this, but right at the front of the boat, just look how much higher she is in the water since we took everything out. When I started on her, she was pretty much at the top of the light pink, which is meant to be red, line, and gradually as we've taken the wood out and all the water out, she's come further and further up in the water. No bad thing at the moment, seeing as later on this summer we want to inspect all this side for old wood and leaks. Looking towards the bow of the boat, you can still see those couple of pine ribs that have been added in there. They're coming out today. I must say they're fixed very firmly in place, so that won't be a few minutes work. Coming round towards the midsection, we have all this white panelling. That's coming out today. You can see it now going behind the ladder. Get rid of the rest of that, and then we're going to head down towards the back of the boat to find our leak. I'm just taking off the last of this pine, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to show you that behind all this pine panelling is like polystyrene insulation. So you can see it here. And that just adds to sort of pack in all the dampness behind it. So you're going to see later, but I've got about 10 bags of polystyrene foam to dispose of as well. Generally speaking, I've been very happy with what I've found in the boat so far. I think I've got 1 or 2 frames to replace. This, however, is very interesting. There's about 4 sections of plywood shoved in there with a couple of brackets and a couple of bolts around it. I suspect when we take the rest of this panelling off, we're going to find a little bit of a story there. Well, I uncovered this strange block. From the looks of it, the plank kind of going along in the middle of the camera now is looking very, very old, and I suspect that that'll need to be replaced, and I suspect that this rather temporary solution was part of putting that off for a few years. Well, not a lot I can do until the boat comes out of the water. It's definitely seeping a lot at this end. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it's very damp down there. But there's nothing there that really concerns me until the end of the season when we pull the boat out. I've just sucked all the rubbish out of the bilge in front of the engine. I've also taken out the old bilge pipes. There's actually pipes everywhere at the moment, but you have the pipe that goes around as the intake into the engine, and then there's another one of those that goes around to that valve in the middle of the screen now, and then there's these, which are the actual bilge outlets. What I want to do now is continue working through, back, under the engine, cleaning the bilge out, getting the gunge out. The next step in order to do that is actually to remove the batteries so I can get down and under the engine. Well, I've pretty much cleaned out the bilge all the way to the back. Poured out a whole bucket of really bad gunge. This should give you an idea of how bad it is. Lovely, eh? It's not all plain sailing. You're now looking at the reverse gear, and if you follow the shaft down, you can see that on the left hand side towards the stern you've got a lot of water, and on the other side you've got none. So that's acting as a dam at the moment. We've got to clear that out. It's also given away where the leak is, which is coming right from the back of the boat. Familiar sight, 6 lovely greasy buckets of water. I'll have to get rid of those properly later on in the day. There you go, 6 buckets of water came out of there. I've completely failed to make a hole between 2 sides of that frame. I think that one will have to wait till another day. If you look, you've got a big tube in front of you, the exhaust pipe. Those 2 other tubes are for the steering, by the way. If you look in the center of the camera now, under the exhaust pipe, you'll see the stuffing box. And it's definitely dripping. The only thing is, I know that you can screw it up, but there's also what appears to be a grease nipple on the top of it. So I'm going to take some photographs of it and put them on the web and try and find somebody who knows more about it than I do. The back of the boat still needs some work. I've got to fix the stuffing box, which I'll do maybe next weekend or the weekend after. I can put some flooring in after I've done that, and then we can start to get to the engine very easily. And I'm going to clean that because it's absolutely covered in gunge, and then I'm going to service it. And then we have a working boat. Now got 6 bin liners full of that polystyrene foam. There's another 3 inside. Looks like I'm in for a trip to the dump. I've finished day 5. I'm just going to clean up. I just thought I'd come down to the stern of the boat and just show you how huge this thing is nowadays.